Y'all giving me strength, okay? I've been trying to hold on to these lashes. They just gotta go. Okay, the notes. So I'm spilling today responsibility. I'm coming from Luke 12 of 47 through 48. I'm just gonna read it real quick. And it says, "And that servant which knew the Lord's will and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. But he that knew not and did commit things worthy of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes. For unto whomsoever much is given, of him shall be much required. And to whom man have committed much, of him they will ask the more." This is a very common passage. We hear it quoted, given all the time. And the basis of this passage is that we're basically held responsible for whatever we are given, whatever God gives us. If we're given talents, if we're given wealth, knowledge, time, anything of the sort, it's expected to use those things unselfishly to glorify God and to serve others. But let's be honest, whenever we do hear this passage, it can kind of make us a little uneasy. The truth is our human nature says, God, what I got to do, how much sleep I'm going to lose, how much money I got to give, and so on and so on. So it makes us uncomfortable. I've even heard the scripture kind of being released a few times with almost a negative undertone. Like, well, you stressed out, but just remember, to whom much is given, much is required. And it can just cause you to be anxious. I was kind of thinking about what Mama had released just earlier, and she was talking about, feeling the warfare after you was given this assignment. And I definitely felt it, because as soon as God released it, it was like everything in my life went from 20 to 160. It was like instantly things took off. I was busy. I was running around doing things for my husband, taking care of the children. There was ministry. Then, tended to my father-in-law, helping work on, the business, tending to the house. I mean, if you can think about it, I was probably doing it. And as I was moving day to day, I was constantly quoting the scripture in my head. And I'm like, well, God, you said to me, much is given, much is required. And, kind of with just this nonchalant attitude. And even leading up until the conference, it wasn't until yesterday, honestly, because I had been praying. I'm like, God, I'm meditating on this scripture. You ain't giving me nothing. And, the conference is, this Saturday. And, what am I supposed to be releasing? And I heard the Spirit of God. This was yesterday, y'all. Said, you're meditating on the scripture, but your perspective is wrong. And I'm like, God, what you mean? Like what you mean? Like, to whom much is given, much is required. Like, what else is supposed to mean? But as I was reading, God began to minister to me. The Spirit began to minister to me, and God said, I only give much to whom I can trust. And God took me back to the beginning. He took me back to to Luke 12 and 42. And it says, and the Lord said, who then is that faithful and wise steward, whom his Lord shall make ruler over his household, to give them their portion of meat in due season? Y'all, I literally busted out in tears. My eyes welled up, and I'm like, God, it seems like I have a lot on my plate, but the reality of it is God, that you're saying that you trust me. And it's an honor to be given much responsibility. Because God is saying, when he does release these things to your plate, God is saying, I have found you to be faithful. I have found you to be wise and trustworthy. It's only the one thing for us to say that we trust God, but it's a whole other ballpark to hear God trust us. Whole other ball. I ain't gonna be real long. A couple of notes. But this is the thing. God is not going to invest his treasures in just to anyone. And I was kind of thinking about my son. If y'all see him running around here, y'all know my favorite, okay? The truth is, if I could probably give him $1. I can trust him, maybe hold $1, maybe. But with the amount of running around that he's doing, he's not focused, he doesn't understand the value of money. If I could give him $1, but I cannot give him a $100 bill. And so God was just basically saying, when we understand the value of what God is releasing to us, then it no longer feels like a burden. So whether it's, your husband, your children, whether it's money, ministry, you just remember that this is God giving us these things because he is saying he can trust us, he can trust our integrity, he can trust our stewardship, he can trust our faithfulness, he can just trust us all the way around. So the next time that you hear to whom much is given, much is required, I challenge you guys to just simply say, God, thank you for trusting me.
I dare you to just lift your hand and say that right now.